Forgot to turn my microphone back on in the computer. I was like, why is it not working? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Still a little early. We got 3 minutes for the stream. I really need to get a countdown widget. I've added all kinds of things to the stream this morning just because I had a little extra time. Browser source. To create a timer. CloudBot tab on stream. CloudBot. Ed. Oh, that's why all my commands weren't working, because I hadn't even turned on the CloudBot. It's lots of things. Okay, great. Well, hello, everybody. Almost time. Almost. Good morning. How goes it? I think I'm humming. Now I am huge, Sean Scream. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is well. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I mean, it is early for a lot of people, so it'd be hard for them to have a good day if you haven't even gotten up yet. There's that. And if you're just now waking up, good morning. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. It is going to be a gorgeous day today. And they're calling for it to be like in the 80s by Monday. I cannot wait. Bring on the beach season. Hey, HK, how's it going? I do love bouncy emotes. You know, it's my favorite. Oh, how's your day? Oh, this is the end of your day, so it's like 9:30 p.m. there for you. So you can actually tell us how you had a great day. And he's in the future, so he has to be obligated to say positive things because he's in the future, and we don't do negativity. Only positivity. Granted, we're all human and we all make mistakes, but you're supposed to call me out when I do it too. I feel like yesterday's was like a sad stream. I should not have. This is a safe space. We're happy spaces. Which all the previous streams are available for you over on the YouTube channel. Anybody out there watching this on the VODs or later, you can go over to YouTube, Firefly 2018. That's where I be. If you want more of me. Just an exhausted day today. Aw, poor buddy. But you know what? My dad used to say that every day that you went to bed tired meant you'd accomplished something. That's a deep thought, right? Every day that you go to bed tired means you accomplished something. And there are lots of days that I don't accomplish things, so I am usually grateful when I can look back at a day that I'm like, wow, look at all the things I accomplished. Boy, am I exhausted, but look at all these great things I achieved. Have you ever heard of the saying, March winds bring April showers, bring May flowers? I'm wondering if it's things that people say in other parts of the world, because, like, if you're on the other side of the world, that puts you in another hemisphere? Did you just hear coughing? What is this? Am I on the wrong microphone still? Oh, right, because you're like on a tropical island, right? Okay, good. Make sure I'm on the right microphone. Because I can't imagine anybody ever tuning in to hear someone cough. I mean, I bet there's somebody out there. There's probably like a whole channel just dedicated to people coughing, but not for me, friends. Not for me. One of the reasons I hate being in public is because I'm like, especially post-COVID, every time you cough, people look at you like, are you about to die? Are you going to make the rest of us die? It's crazy. It's crazy. Because there's probably, I mean, I feel like that's a legitimate fear these days, but as somebody who's got a smoker's cough, I used to have a mask that said, don't worry, it's not a COVID cough. It had pot leaves and stuff all over it, so it was like a, oh, that's why I'm coughing, bro. Not that like a smoker's cough is good for you, so I don't know. Sneezing is a plus depending on what type of chat. Okay, this I have to hear. What chat is sneezing like the norm? I feel like sneezing would hurt. Like if you were sneezing as a streamer, like you just sneeze, like you would have brain damage. I feel just like a whole bunch of sneezes in a row seems like it would give you brain damage. Just the jostling of the sneezing at the least. Oof. And I mean, like I know sneezing is good for you to expel. Like it's good for you as a human function. Listening to two people sneeze. There's probably some game out there somewhere that's like sneeze based. Yep. That's the thing. Oh, I did the garden tour. Well, let me do today's positive affirmations on that thing. Today's positive affirmation is I am consistent in the things that I say and do. That's a good one. I like that one too. That seems something I would say. I am very consistent in the things that I do. Garden tour, and the garden tour is available over on my shorts. So let me pause the background music. I theoretically have this cool thing. Hey! That's old pots. That's part B. These are all my shorts.
Garden tour. We got cucumbers out here. This one's getting a little covered in and weed eaten.
Can you hear it?
But it's still alive. It's alive. Up, another rabbit seems to have plucked that cucumber. I don't know if it's bugs or what, but something's coming out here and just slowly eating cucumbers one by one, like this one. Something has eaten the leaves off of it. This one was already long gone. That is another greenhouse. I don't have anything in it right now. It will be flower. That's old pots. I got tomatoes here.
The burn pile. I'm gonna burn that as soon as it's not windy.
I got tomatoes out here. Morning gardening tour. We got cucumbers out here.
Part B. So wrong way.
Another greenhouse. I don't have anything in it right now. It will be morning gardening tour. We got another greenhouse. I don't have anything in it right now. It will be flower.
Duplicated some.
That's old pots. I got tomatoes here.
Well, that's a complicated. I just made a plan for.
I got tomatoes out here, and they're
Been
gonna be
saving
trellised
all
once
these
they
little-
grow up with my
I don't know if I'll
solar
get them there
solar
too.
panels on
It's
top.
like square containers. that
And then
come
all
with
the way
peanuts.
across the yard, I got the pepper
Standard.
patch.
Plastic container that's like square with like a soft lid. I mean, I get Chex Mix and cashews and so all kinds of random goods. Just-
Senor Routes.
Here comes the doggy shot.
He's always happy to see me.
I don't know if you've ever seen a full shot of the dog.
Isn't that right, buddy? Isn't that right? Aren't you start a show?
Getting a haircut.
You start a
He's-
show.
he's got his winter fur on still. Next
There's
week
the pepper
he goes to
patch,
the
which I haven't put any peppers in yet because it's still a little cold and the peppers aren't quite ready yet. Another
That's-
greenhouse. I don't
it's-
have
we
anything
start
in it
in the
right now.
backyard.
It will
Front
be
yard is
flower.
where I'm going across. The dog is laying in the front.
That's old pots. I got tomatoes
so
here.
Yeah, I'm gonna take those containers, and they're currently in the dishwasher because all the papers and labels and stuff on the outside.
I
I'm
got
gonna put those
tomatoes out here, and
containers
they're
over
gonna be
top of
trellised
those
once they grow up with my
seedlings, so
solar
hopefully I
solar
can
panels on top.
protect them from whatever's eating.
And then all the way across the yard, I got the pepper patch.
And as far as like, I planted a few extra because you always lose some. That's why like gardening is so hit or miss.
Senor
some
Routes.
days. Like, I just had a whole flower thing.
He's always
where I
happy
ordered
to
20
see me.
seeds, and I got 7 to pop, and
Isn't that right, buddy?
4 of those are still
Isn't that
struggling.
right? Aren't
3
you
died when I put
you
them
start a show?
outside.
You start a show. There's the pepper patch, which I haven't put any peppers in yet because it's still a little cold and the peppers aren't quite ready yet.
Sorry, I guess you probably don't need my double voice either. Thank you for. And I probably just let it go. I don't know how to fix that either. I wish I could hear what you guys hear, but maybe like if I muted my own audio and. I don't know. Because then I'd have to I could listen to the stream, but it would be delayed. That would probably give me total malfunction. In case you're wondering what the music is we're listening to today, here it is. 12 hours of background free music, copyright-free music. And this relaxed movement person is the person that I have been listening to for the past 3 days, and I think they're great. I'm gonna hit subscribe and the like button, just as maybe an example. Yeah, I think I've even changed the labels, so hopefully I can. So look, I've got the Discord one. Whoop! Oh, damn it. Really, I've screwed that up. See, I was being like, I'm so cool. Got the main screen one, right? So you can see what I'm looking at. Oh, it's probably, I wonder if it's because I duplicated it instead of creating a new sword. Anyway, y'all don't need me to work on that, I'll work on it. Maybe just pause the short if you want to interject something. Probably. But I think we've seen the short. Did we want to come back to the shorts? Do we have any questions about the garden? I think I'll do that every day. I think that'll be my plan, is to do a garden tour every day and cover that, and then so we can get that going. And that way I'll create the shorts too. So it's a double bonus. And I can start mentioning in our shorts that we live stream every day. So hopefully it'll be a double dip to building this community. And I mean, that way it'll make me have to go do a garden tour every day, so I'll have to look at them. I think a lot of gardening is keeping track of what's going on with your garden. reacting to it. Like, if I hadn't been checking it every day, I would not be noticing that something is eating my seedling by the time I go out. Like, it won't be a big deal once the plants get, like, established, because cucumbers, like, once they start growing, they grow. But they often start to a little stop. So that's why I'm not worried about a couple of plants being lost, because A, last year we had more than enough off just 2 vines, and I planted 12 this year. But I fully intend to attempt to sell some of this extra produce somewhere, so I need to do. I have also thought about building a trust box. Like, just putting a box out there with a can of money, a can of... It's like a can to hold the money, a box to put. And then people can take what they want, pay what they want. Pay what they feel it would be. This is better than nothing for me. It's kind of extra. Like, if you're poor, take it. Rich, just want this healthy organic produce, help pay it forward. Got a little extra here so you can help out with the poor people in the area. Hey look, the bot's back. It puts bots, things in the chat. If you love this, try the YouTube. If you don't, then forget I mentioned it. I wonder why I've created that bot. I guess it was to remind me to tell you about the YouTube, but I feel like I'd talk about that this whole hour. Oh, check out my other channel. Like, is that all streamers do anymore, is promote themselves? It feels like every one of them just promote themselves. Alright, it's hard to balance the thing. I can't hear. And I mean, each one of these tracks that I listen to has different ebbs and flows of musical. But I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. That's the only way these will ever get better is if you keep. That's a hard one to master. I don't know. There's probably like a volume preset somewhere. I think I have my desktop audio set to the same. Right, I think that's, like, hopefully it just kind of gets... But now that I have the chat on the screen, I feel like I didn't used to do that before, so it's going to pop it up. But it does put emotes. It does remind. I have to create a little thing, but like, hey, don't forget to subscribe. You have these access to these cool emotes, and it would put all 3 of them. So, I'll work on that later, too. I think that's the whole point. Maybe that's why streaming takes forever to get started, because you have to, like, do a live stream every day, and then see how better you get. Those are the emotes I was referring to. Every time you put emotes in the chat, they float all over the screen. Seems mundane, but every follow and sub. You know, right? That's what I said yesterday. If I get 1 follower sub every stream or channel, that's only like 1,000 streams. Totally doable 3 years of my life. Ah! If I had consistently been streaming every day that I've been doing this for 3, like I started in 2018, it's Watch 2018, so we're in 2024. But obviously I have not been consistently streaming. And it took me forever to get to affiliate in Twitch. And then I feel like I focused my efforts in the wrong. Twitch is not something that's growing. And I think like it's only still viable because Amazon owns it. Like they're looking at how many millions getting and how many million dollars they make off advertising revenue. But I just don't know if it's sustainable. But like people that make content, will they keep making content? Probably. Those of us who just videotape everything in our lives anyway, might as well put it on the screen. And now that I'm getting better about adding things to my shorts, and you know, shorts are apparently the wave of the future. And it takes merely a moment to create a short. And I do see a lot of amazing things some days, but I feel like it's going to get me in trouble I'm gonna take a short, do something stupid, put it up on a YouTube, and then whole world blows up. Be like, oh my god, you were that guy that shat himself on the train or something. Aw, well, thanks for saying hi. I appreciate you. Know that we miss you, Silver. Thanks for saying hi. There's a bug just crawling across my floor. It's like, I own this place, not you. He is dissuaded. Have a useless dog. He's just laying here, passed out. Uselessly. Let's get a better signal. If only it were so. I mean, I was just about to complain, but that's such a first world problem. Like, oh, I can't receive internet in the middle of nowhere. Like, such a first world problem. Technically, the bugs are the original dweller and just the invader. I mean, you might have a story to that were it outside, but I mean, I literally made this building myself. Like, before I was here, just Earth. That bug could still live on the Earth below me. He could still live on the ceiling. He could still live anywhere outside of this building other than the one that I built and called my home. There's a whole lot of land. It's a teeny tiny little bug. And survival of the fittest. There's a lot of people who aren't here because there was somebody stronger. I read a lot of survival novels. It's a bleak world that my fantasy life is in. I'm kind of sad we didn't have more turnout. I almost didn't do it today because it's been like I've done it so many days in a row. And I'm like, I need to take a day off just because I need days off. We discussed this earlier. I can't be dead. See, he's working for it. But weekends are usually busy. Like last weekend, it was one of my most successful, but I think that was actually Sunday morning. I can't just flatten the mountain peak. Problems. Well, I mean, that seems a bit intrusive. It's like mining, fracking, and you know, me building a building out of natural material seems like what every other animal does. I built a home, our home, and I'm allowed to defend it. Most animals do that on the planet, in the ecosystem. They build a habitat, and it's where you keep your crap, and it's where you go back to sleep at night, safe, quiet, calm. I didn't take up a huge amount of space. I try to respect the land that I live on. I have definitely nurtured it. I said to somebody yesterday that if life was a video game, I would have gotten the achievement Defender of Peace. We live on a street that is named after a tree, and I'm the only one who has those trees on my property. And it's there's pine trees all around it that were invasive with kind of orangey. I had to go fight. And then there's these vines like kudzu, Japanese honeysuckle. There are invasive grapevines that are literally killing every tree on the street. And it's a struggle. These things are out of control. Like, all 4 of those vines are like prolific. I have to I have to trim my whole 2 acres. It's weekly. Take it over. I mean, it was literally killing the forest. Like, maybe that I'll include that the forest behind my house is a tour. Because there's a whole bunch of pine trees that I can see out of this window that have basically been lollipopped because the vines have grown like all the way around the trees. But I have taken the vines off. Like, I've killed them and taken them off now. So I don't know if those pine trees are covered, but we're in the middle of the windy season, and I've already lost 2 of the pines, but the pines are not native to here. So I mean, like, I fully intend to let the oaks grow underneath, and yeah, hopefully one day back my full. But I feel like that's one of those things that I know I'm planting trees that I will never see to maturity. Like, oaks take 50 years to get to a full mature tree. I'll be lucky if I see that. Possible, like 50 years of life, I'd be 90. Possible. Especially at the rate of medical technology these days. At least you're leaving a legacy, right? I mean, not like anyone will ever know that I'm the one. Unless I'm old enough to be like the last remaining oak. Oh god. That hurts my heart to even say out loud. But especially mine, they're white oaks. They are already a rarer variety. And the well, the stream shall be the proof. Fair enough. Except nobody ever watches them. They think like the future watch these like, wow, this is what ancient civilization used to be like. They're all like sitting on their cloud research sphere in Venus's atmosphere, floating around in clouds of gas, magically powered by fusion hyperspace faster than light engine. Being, wow, these guys were talking about growing tomato. What a tomato. Have you ever seen like a tomato? Put the VOD on the flash drive and tie it to the tree. And then, you know, like the tree would grow around it, right? But the only way they would find that flash drive is if they chopped down the tree. And like, at what point do you think I'm gonna be like, on my deathbed, like I have to leave it in my will that somebody put a plaque. I saved these. This is an oak preserve. Never kill the oaks. I have thought about that. I have definitely thought about putting a stone plaque on my property that says preserve. So then maybe if I drop dead and somebody, I don't have kin. I have no idea what would happen to the property. Yes. But maybe the next person would see it and go, special treat. I'd probably go with the tombstone. I mean, my dad and mother will both be buried on this property. And I mean, me too, probably. I've said more than once that I surely will die of a chainsaw accident. It's behind my, or a bicycle accident. Those are the 2 ways I suspect I'll die. Am I the only one who thinks that? Like, am I the only one who sits around being like, gee, I wonder how I'm gonna die? Does that make me depressed? I'm really depressed about it. Like, life is what it is. I was, like, I feel like when you're raised on a farm and around farm things and see plants that have their cycles of life and animals that, you know, they make one pair of animals makes 6 new ones. It's not, I don't know, maybe it makes life seem less. Everything has a cycle. Everything is part of nature. Everything is part of the earth. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes kind of mentality. But yes, that would be the badge I get. It's Oak Savior. Like, can we make a movement, gamify life, and just start giving people achievements for things? Like, you made it through your day without murdering anyone. Here's achievement level 1, basic human. Don't really think about how, more like hoping that I'll get a good, not having. Fair enough. I hope my last thought is that's that's really how I hope that happens. Is my last thought's a very sudden. I'd hate to sit around in a hospital room dwelling it. I don't know if you've watched The Three Body Problem on Netflix, but that scene, man. There's, like I keep saying, with literature that's hitting too close to home. That's oof. If you have not seen the Three Body Problem on Netflix, do it. Mind bending. It was well worth the watch. Yeah, you got it. Especially I feel like for sciencey nerds, like people, it was a higher level movie. Higher level. So definitely check that out. There's the movie with Julia Roberts that I hated. It's on Netflix, and I can't think of the name of it now. It's her post-apocalyptic one where their big thing is that opening scene of the boat coming ashore. Forget the name of the movie. But it was not good, and I was loving it until the ending. Ruined it. I won't ruin it for you, but I personally think the end. Oh, they're awful. Awful people. Awful. If the producers or creators of that movie ever see the stream, they should know that I don't like it. I like movies that wrap up neatly, that make sense with the universe. And like I keep saying, I don't go to the movies for reality. Realize that the rest of the world won't ever just wrap up neatly. But like The Sopranos, I feel like I can definitely spoil The Sopranos now. Like that's been 100 years. Sopranos has been so long. But remember how it ended? Spoiler alert, if you don't know, click away if you don't know how it ended. Hey, YouTube. Now sidetracked. Oh my god, marijuana and bots should not go together. Sopranos, fade to black? No answers? I'll kill you. I hate that. Oh my god. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, because the movie, like, that's the hard thing about that movie, is it was a good movie up until the end. Like, I was very intrigued, entwined. They kept you on the edge of your seat, like, what's the answer to this? What? I love movies that I can't figure out, like, it doesn't, but, I mean, I don't want to move, I feel like any more I take, but it's gonna ruin it. It's... I don't know if they had a plan. Blacklist. I have to Google Blacklist and see if I can. Oh, that's the one with Kevin. Yeah. I do recall that one. And I watched the first couple of episodes and could tell they were leading you. I feel like it was telegraphed early on that the writers had no fucking idea what. So I can't even say that I finished it, because I saw it coming. I saw that frustration coming in the way they were not foreshadowing stuff. Like, some movies do it really well. Like I said yesterday, I've got into this Korean drama called The Alchemy of Souls. And twice, I've been like, oh, I know what's going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. And then that does not happen. You're like, oh. Is it still going? That's probably the noise gate if I get too quiet. Ah, curses. I was on a good rant. Maybe did you hear the rant about the blacklist? That was probably the most crucial part to you. I agreed with you. Oh, sad. I'm sad. I think I knew from the beginning. I knew from the beginning that the blacklist was going to lead you on, so I didn't finish it. So I feel your pain about the frustration, because I could see it coming. but sort of missed that part. No, sorry. That was crucial to you. We were on a roll. I thought it was a good one, and I was up here being animated about it. I'll have to go back in on the YouTube video and add in a voiceover. Maybe I can remember what I'm saying by my voice lips. I don't know if that's the case, because I feel like my mouth just... I got the drag queen mouth going on. Just... Could be saying anything. Just... I bet I'd be the world's worst person to lip read. I watched back the playbacks on my shorts just a while ago, and I was like, the captions don't get my southern twang. That cracks me up. Some of the things the captions say that like some of the captions, what some of the captions think I say cracks me up. Cracks me up. Cracks me up. Ooh. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Well, you could spoil the end. To see when the blacklist. Oh, I don't know. I really didn't watch that enough to have formulated the ending. But are you trying to say that it is worth the watch? Like, should I go back? Oh, thanks. Should I go back and watch the blacklist? I still have Netflix. I could. But I distinctly remember getting not into it in the first couple, and I was like, if I keep watching this, they're gonna bait me into some non-neat ending. And I like neat ending. Even if they're bad. I mean, you could totally say everyone died. They're all dead. That is it. That is an ending. I don't know if you've ever read the Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, but the last book, the main characters start dropping like flies. Like these people that you have been through their whole life stories, you have known them since the beginning of the 13-book series, die. Many die. But that is a realistic life expectation, isn't it? Nobody escapes life alive. And then it brings you to the ultimate question. Have you heard Neil deGrasse Tyson's explanation that he thinks in the next 50 years humanity will escape death velocity? That was his word. And that's because the way our medical technology is coming along, they can just reprint body parts now. I mean, there's a factory in Blacksburg, Virginia, making pig genetically modified organs. They have already implanted them into humans, and it's fine. Death velocity, like he's the speed of death. Like we are gonna outpace death. Was his joke there, is that we'll be able to replace everyone. I mean, velocity is referring to speed, so it's how fast we're gonna get there and how we're gonna run. Like humanity's whole existence is running from death, like fight or flight. You can't fight death, so we only run it. We're only running from it. That's why I liked it. Death velocity. We are outrunning death with technology. I mean, like, have you seen the humanoid robots? We all know that the brain is only electrical impulses. How long before they can just recreate an electronic brain? And then it's only a simple matter of transmitting your electronic impulses from one brain to another. Bada bing, bada boom, robot humans. It sounded idea, but I don't think the human brain is meant to function past their normal life expectancy. I think, I'm going to say, working with the elderly that stay active versus seeing my grandparents who just kind of retired and then sat down and died. I think there's a will to it. Not everyone wants to live forever. Some people do. Like, there are definitely some humans that would murder everyone they ever knew and trample everything they ever loved to live forever. Like, we can all admit that. Even at this point in time, we barely know anything about the brain. Not enough that people can easily replicate it on a whim within 50 years. I mean, you make a valid point. At the current state of technology, that would be magic to us if you could translate a person to a robot. You'd be like, wow, that is magic. But AI happened just recently, and I think that is going to exponentially expedite scientific. Like, basically, the AI is going to do what to our. Like, I mean, we both play Civilization games, right? And I hate to, like, base the world off a Civilization game, but, like, just to put it into perspective, what happens in most Civilization games when you get to a level of, like, oh, we've just researched AI, your research usually doubles. Like, you get to a point where it's like, we are now suddenly gaining twice the amount of research we were before we researched AI. In at least Civilization, I know it's like that, and I want to say Humankind, too, that they've said that AI is huge. I mean, like, you start getting into computers and robotics, and each one of those is like an exponential leap in the progression at which technology is researched. And if you look at the end games of Civilization technology, like, how far do we spend going from tribal bands of roving nomads to a spacefaring civilization? I mean, they're doing it a couple hundred years in a game. But I mean, if you take into progression, what percentage of that, like, we spent in the Middle Ages, and, you know, like, humanity's existence has been a couple of million years, and we've only been in the technological age for like 50. The exponential progression of technology and research is baffling to me. I follow the lady on YouTube who does, like, the positives tech stories. And some of the stuff's real scary. Like, the whole gene editing modifier thing and the CRISPR situation is very, very scary to me. But it also has a lot of great positives. I mean, they could cure diabetes. They're printing organs for people. Like, do I think humanity should live forever? Is a really deep question. Just in and of itself. Like, do we deserve to live forever? Humans are scary of themselves. And remember that one person who's going to murder everything he loves to get immortality. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Trump, Biden, probably. I feel like it's harder to believe that, because I feel like Joe's waiting for death. It's like, I've got all these things I gotta get done before I can die. And I bet if he loses the election in this year, if he loses this year, he will probably die. I bet he'll just sit down. He'll be one of those people who's like, alright, done what I could. Bye. Like, that's the ones we gotta take out first. I mean, right? But too bad they've already used their millions and billions of dollars to build survival bunkers on islands. Google that. Millionaire survival bunkers. Google that. See how many of them are, and you're like, oh yeah, surely nothing's coming for humanity, but every rich person on the planet has decided to build themselves a survival bunker. We're talking own private islands with moats and guards and gardens and solar panels and basically green infrastructure on a private island for the sake of their billionaire. Google that. I think Bezos has 2. And then you look at and you think about these medications. Like Jeff Bezos was not super fit. You go back into his pictures from like he was never like super crazy overweight or anything, but he's definitely gotten a lot better shape as he's gotten older, and that does not seem the way it's supposed to work out. And I'm sure it's because he's paid enough money to have either surgeries or pills that keep him healthy and vital. He's probably taking testosterone, and Ozempic, and all kinds of stuff. Surely the core of the Earth would not overheat and take out those underground first. Space seems safer. Oh, they're certainly doing that too. They're certainly doing that too. I just saw a thing the other day where they are trying to build human habitats, but apparently the way they feel that that has to happen is that we're going to shoot rockets into space and then inflate them to make habitats. So they've got this woven fiber that you can collapse down into the size of an umbrella and then throw into space, and it blows up into something somebody can live in. And they're like, this is where scientists and astronauts can go to space and do their research. And I'm like, right, hotels in space. They've been trying to build hotels in space forever. China has a plan. What I've seen on the internet is there is a plan to build an international space hotel. Tourists. Space tourism for space science. I mean, I guess the space station's been up there so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I mean, we've not had success with humans living in 0G for more than a year. And when they come back to G after a year of living in space, they are baby weak. Barely raise their arms and stuff. So like, ugh. Once we get the space elevator, we can probably make a space hotel. Right. And so the space elevator has to be built on the equator. So which one of those countries do you think we are going to rush and space elevator? Because, I mean, like, none of the countries along the equator really have the money to build space elevator. That'd be like the Mali nation and humankind building a space elevator. That's not fair. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, I think a space elevator has to happen. I think they need to go to the moon first and build a base on the moon so they can start building spaceships from the moon. Okay, so now that the bots are working, I have to see if the other commands work. Because I believe... God damn it. I keep forgetting I'm not signed in on streaming service. Still not. What? Did I spell it wrong? I didn't put it. YouTube. There we go. That's the one. They do work. That's the YouTube. Lurk works again. Oh, and the Discord. That way, if anybody wants to join the Discord. Boom. Boom. Well, see, I have two different, like, because I have to have the stream manager up to be able to use, like, Twitch and do all the twitchy things. But my streaming service is Streamlabs, and it's the program I use to stream to Twitch. And the chat displays from Twitch, but will not let me chat in this. I have to chat in the web browser that is my Twitch streamer. I don't know why. Don't know why. I didn't mean to. So now it's sorry. There's lots of things that they've done. They keep updating. Like there's the stream together thing, where if you had your own stream, you could stream with. Tried that with anybody. Yeah. But there you go. Now you have the links to things. I guess I should click the links to see if they actually work. Oh, it does. Yeah. Oh, it does. And it does take me to Discord. Makes me log. And I'm logged into Discord, so I don't know. Oh well. Discord's a weird one anyway. But if you want to follow the Discord, that's where we can put all the stuff. Did you see the picture of my newest obsession? See if I can get this to work. Is that either? Studio. Screen. This is what I was actually. I just stumbled across this.
So the idea is I'm gonna swing until this thing bends.
Lumberjack. I didn't know I was into lumberjacks until I met Thorin Bradley. I may have watched this more than I should have. He has videos where he actually uses an axe and axing things, but this one is oof. Like, look at all the splatter he's got on his face. I don't know why that's like. This guy's he just.
So now we know what it can do, and we know what it shouldn't do. Still an awesome tool.
That's why I shared it in the Discord yesterday. I was like, poof. Yep. I mean, I could probably get through that log with an axe in half a day. I mean, who knows how long it took him to do that? But I mean, if he just continuously kept swinging that sword over and over again, he must, like, think of the cardio involved in that, just to keep that sword swinging. Not to mention with the impact of the down swap. But I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the body for it. And I'm sure if he went out there and did it every day, like, he might be a lumberjack, like, professionally. Like, have you ever watched them lumberjacks on, like, ESPN and stuff? Like, I'm sure if you go out there and chop wood every day, you would look like that in 6 months. No matter what you ate, if you chopped wood every day for an hour, you look like that. I will definitely say that wood chopping is one of the most intensive exercises ever, and it's not like, and it's kind of rewarding. I don't mind chopping wood because it's like you can see the fruits of your labor. But I can't do it all day. I mean, Lord. I mean, I guess I should try. Like some people, that's the best exercise, right? Just get up and chop up some wood. I wonder if his name is really Thorin Bradley. He definitely had a video where he was talking about making fun of himself. Like, people are like, "Ooh, this is so cringy," and I'm just like, He knows why he's making that video. Like, if you worked out that much to look that good, why would you not? I mean, why would you not? The log of your labor, like literally. Nobody has to keep track. There's a pile. It's a log of my labor. Oh, I love that. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. HK the wordsmith. Especially for a language that's not even your first language. That's impressive to me. I don't know if I've ever expressed that to anybody, but I think anybody who can speak two languages is brilliant. I can't. I feel like I am a fraud every time I try to speak any other than English. Because I really don't even speak English correctly. And I often say, I'm Southern. I'm allowed to mess up your language. It's what we do. It's an accent. It's a colloquialism. It's part of being Southern is say things funny. Warsh. I spent most of my whole life saying warsh, and now when I say wash, it sounds Yankee. That's immediately what I think about it. It's like, it sounds like I'm from the North when I say wash. I'm gonna go wash the car. The Harvard yard. Give me a good old Southern accent. I'm gonna wash the car in the yard. See you later. Have a good one. Have a good one. How's your mom and them? Oh, good. You know, people in the South are still nuts. I have tried Duolingo. Tried Rosetta Stone. Took classes in high school. Been to foreign countries. I can usually understand, sometimes speak, but when it gets into the writing part of it, I follow the little lady on the shorts on. She's trying to teach me Japanese. She's got the little rhythmic thing in the cat. I listen to it. I watch it. Say it as she's doing it, but can I remember any words? Nope. I have short-term memory loss. I often say that the key to my long-term happiness is I forget stuff. And it's true. It's forget stuff. Not saying that I couldn't, but do I have the motivation to learn? Probably not, because everything is translated, you know? Like, I really think that's going to be a universal translation just around it. I can just put earbuds in and it translates whatever language is around me. I feel like that's already a thing. Probably, like with Google Pixel Translate function, it has a conversation mode. Person earbud and you have an earbud of the same device, and it translate both things for you. Oh yeah, and I'm so great at reading people's body language. Like, I've been to other countries and have successfully managed to hook up with people that I did not speak the language. Using Google Translate, using messenger apps, and body language. Like, you don't have to speak to understand some universal thing about humanity. Both for good and ill, for that matter. Aren't you glad I'm not here in person? If you were here in person, I would have just apologized to you for blowing smoking. I'm trying to smoke all the old stuff that I haven't been able to sell. Oh, surely. Google is not perfect, but have you used it since they've AI'd it? I haven't either, but I know they're using AI to support language translation models in Google. And I'm like, that's a changer right there too. And it's all about training all these AIs that are speaking. Gives me some example. Speaking to speaker. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, I have anxiety when speaking. Still there. Lack the talent. Your accent? I mean, but you speak different languages. I think that probably puts you in a different headspace and disadvantages for doing accents. Like, I can speak several accents, but I don't know if would know if it passes in like. I was always told I have a hard time doing the Irish accent, and my bosses back in the day says you have to start out with saying horses. That's how you get in the Irish accent, is to say the word horses like you mean horses, but you want to say horses because that's how they do it with the hard E. And it starts down that path when you're saying horses. Gets you in the routine of changing your accent. So you pick a word that's very distinctive to group of people and then use that horses. Started. Jackson. That's the only one I know. That's what told me. I'm trying to think of like. Usually, if I want to do a British accent, I could just watch a lot of BBC file, and the British accent would just come out. Wow. I think you should not. Are your own beautiful individual. Don't try to make yourself sound American. Or be Malaysian. Oh, you have an accent? Where's your accent from? You speak to, like, maybe that's because Americans are awful. The vast majority of them are like, oh, you can't speak English? You're stupid. And, like, that person speaks 4 other languages. You speak 1. Like, every time I've ever, like, I've been in some rooms where we had, like, a European, I wouldn't say exchange student because it was a corporation. Oh, it was like an AmeriCorps. Like, they were a volunteer, and I was working at a nonprofit at the time. And, one of the volunteers was struggling with our language. He was from France. And after he left the room, somebody in the room was like, why would they send somebody over here who doesn't speak our language fluently? And I looked at him and was like, he has spoken fluent English for every conversation we've ever had in this conversation. Like, he misspoke about one word this one time, and you're giving him shit that he doesn't speak fluent English? What does the word colloquialism mean? I don't think I used that word, but I dropped some big word that I was like, what does this mean? Can you use it in a sentence? No? Well, you're an idiot, you fucker. You're an idiot. And then he was like, oh, I guess I see what you're saying. And I'm like, not only that, he knows a whole nother language of words. And he misspoke one in your language and you gave him shit for it? You're an asshole. An asshole. So you shouldn't feel anxiety about that at all. It's because those people around you are being assholes. Told as much. How dare you judge me when I already speak 2 other languages? But that's no way to get a point. It's no way to get a point. You should never call one. That makes me mad for you. Makes me mad for you. It's more like an inner struggle to sound good. So self-feel about something good. Plus that anxiety. But that I could see it. I mean, I understand. Like, we are humans, and that's the way it works. You're gonna go to, you want to sound like you fit in. Like, speaking the language makes you feel more, oh, I belong here. But that's like a positive affirmation. I feel like one of those the other days was, remember, you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be you. You're allowed to be a person who speaks multiple languages in the Malaysian accent. Because I'm proud of my country and my heritage, and I don't wish to naturalize it. Like, I don't want to become you. I am speaking your language out of a courtesy, but I'm not changing who I am for you. I'm speaking your language because I'm smarter than you, and I have learned to communicate with you because I know that's going to get me what I want faster. Not changing my language, which, I mean, I guess the same thing. If you change your accent, people are more likely to feel and welcome and trust you. It's kind of a new thing. So, I mean, it's got its ups and downs on both sides of being able to do it, but don't lose yourself. I believe that anybody who speaks a second language, like when they talk about these immigrants at the border, everybody's like, oh, they're gonna get here and not speak English, and I'm just like, so? It's just stupid. I mean, all languages are kind of stupid. Like, I can't think of any single solitary language. Somebody can't be like, oh yeah, well, what about this word? It's stupid. The real question is, why haven't we all just, like, decided on a universal language? This kind of makes sense. Like, why isn't there a common, like in D&D? Just everybody speaks common. Like, you might also speak your language, but why can't we all just teach a language universally across the world? Everybody, this is common tongue. This is the one. And it'd have to be an amalgamation of everything, which I hate to say, English is kind of already. I mean, that sounds kind of, should English, because I believe the vast majority of people speak English, and English is kind of amalgamation. Like, we have a lot of words from lots of different languages. So, I mean, and America used to be like the original melting pot. Like, supposed to be Yeah, that's mostly my motivation for learning. Like, I hate that English is common, but I mean, at least we could blame Britain, right? Like, Britain owned half the world speaking. Really blame Britain for that one. But it's not like the United States is not already contributing. They literally send people abroad to teach people English. I have thought about it. Because I love the language. Like, I think as a wordsmith, I enjoy the versatility that the English language gives me that I don't think I get with a lot of other ones. I mean, like, I've looked into Chinese and some of the Asian languages, and they're all basically like the same word sounds, inflections. Like, I mean, red, red, and red. I read book. Red, right? Well, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of those that sound the same, but mean like 5 different other things. Why does knife start with a K? Everybody thinks that with their native tongue, but I have never even heard Malay.
Follow LangFocus on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay, alright, I forgot you can see it.
Hello everyone, welcome to the LangFocus channel, and my name is Paul. Today's topic is the Malay language, or Bahasa Melayu, as it's called in Malay. People outside of Southeast Asia may not be very familiar with Malay, but if we include all speakers of all varieties of Malay, it is one of the top 10 most widely spoken languages in the world. And when I say widely, I mean by a large number of people. It has around 77 million native speakers and around 173 million second language speakers, for a total of about 250 million speakers. Of course, different sources give different numbers, but something like that. It's spoken in Malaysia, where it has around 18.5 million native speakers out of a population of around 32 million people. Malaysia is an ethnically and linguistically diverse place with large communities of people speaking Chinese and Indian languages, as well as numerous indigenous minority languages. Everyone in Malaysia now learns Malay at school, but some speakers of other languages either aren't fluent in Malay or they choose not to speak it very much after they graduate from school. Singapore is another ethnically diverse place where Malays are a minority. The Malay language is spoken by around 700,000 people there, or 13% of the population. It is also spoken by around 266,000 people, or about 64% of the population of Brunei.
What the f? It's not Brunei, it's Brunei, idiot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, in English we say Brunei.
Oh my god, you slaughtered the word Brunei.
Okay, Brunei. So like I was saying, it's spoken by around 266,000 people, or 64% of the population of Brunei. It is also spoken by around 1 million people in southern Thailand, adjacent to peninsular Malaysia. And Malay is spoken by around 11.23 million people in Indonesia. But that's only part of the story. There are also about 43 million native speakers of Bahasa Indonesia, and around 155 second language speakers of Bahasa Indonesia. So what's Bahasa Indonesia? Well, when speaking of the Malay language, we need to distinguish between Malay dialects, which vary from place to place, and the standardized forms of the language. The first standardized form of the language is Bahasa Melayu.
More than I got into. That does sound like a... I can't say is it be one that I'm gonna add to my list that I'm... Not to mention I don't... that I'm... Spanish is up there. I mean, like half of the United States is Spanish speaking at this point. So, kind of. Not to mention, I feel like I know Spanish. Well, I like Spanish guys. That's a thing. Although apparently I have a new thing for lumberjack. Oh dear. All right. Well, we're over our hour already this morning. We're gonna revisit our affirmation. Is I am consistent in the things that I say, and it's like if you're gonna say something, do something. I know. Same. Bye, HK. Bye, everybody. It's been great to see everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And we will probably take tomorrow our Jack 20. I mean, I don't know if I'm changing my name because my tastes change as much as my mind. All right, but on that wonderful note, thank you. Bye, everybody. See you next time.